Hello, dear friends, how are you? I hope you are keeping safe and sound. Welcome back in your new lesson in English with Abdul. Our today's lesson is all about simple past. In this lesson, we are going to grasp simple past form, use, and we are going to know some spelling rule also. But first of all, we are going to welcome a very special and precious guest today. Anna from England. Anna, one of the best friends of mine around the world, she is going to help me make up this video. Hello Anna, how are you? I hope you are doing well. How are things in London? My big greeting to you and thank you for accepting my request to help me in this video.
Hello, Abdul. I am glad to give my contribution to the lessons.
Most welcome, Anna. Could you possibly tell me how did you pass your yesterday? What were your activities for yesterday, please?
I will talk about my activity I did yesterday, and I have a dog, German Shepherd, yes. And then I went for a walk with my dog because I need to take away the anxiety and I need to run. And after that, I went to home and I started cook my dinner.
As you see, Anna used many verbs all in the past simple. She used walked, went, sit. All those verbs are in the past. Okay, the simple past we use it to talk about an action which happened and finished in the past. Okay, it's very clear. It can be an action or a series of actions. For example, I watched TV. Yesterday I watched TV. It's the past of the verb to watch. I watched TV or I watched a movie yesterday. Or maybe a series of action. For example, he came, the past of come, he came and turned on or switched on the TV and sit watching TV. Okay, so a series of actions came, switched on, and said a series of actions that happened and finished in the past. Okay, it's very clear. We used also after expressions of time like yesterday, last week, last year, in 2008. Okay, some expressions of time. So the simple past has two type of form. One called regular verbs and the second called irregular verbs. When it comes to regular verbs, it's very easy. All verbs in the past take ed in the end. Watched, watched. Play, played. Stay, stayed. Revise, revised. All those verbs called regular verb. But when it comes to the other category, which we call irregular verbs, here there is no rule. Means that we change all spelling of the verb. Means also that we should or we have to take them in memory. We must memorize them. Okay. I'll drop a list of irregular verbs in comments later after this video. Okay, so we said that simple past we use it to talk about an action which happened and finished in the past. There is some spelling rules which come in writing. Here we talk about when we have a verb and with E. Example, calculate. We adjust D in the end. Calculate, calculated. Or combine, combined. Or hate, hated. Okay, when we have a verb end with E in the end, we adjust D. Very clear. But when we have a verb end with Y and preceded by vowel, preceded by vowel, I can say that in Arabic. منين يكون عندنا فعل منتهي بإيغريغ ومسبوق بحركة، عادي هنا كنديرو غير ed in English. When we have a verb end with y and preceded مسبوق preceded by vowel حركة كنزيدو ed عادي. We add ed. Stay, stayed. Play, played. Okay? But when we have a verb end with y and preceded by consonant، ملي كيكون عندنا شي فعل اللي منتهي ب y ولكن مسبوق بسكون أو لا حرف، مثلا cry منتهي ب y ولكن مسبوق ب r cry. اشنو كنديرو في هذه الحالة؟ we change the y by I and we add ed. حتى كنحيدو ديك y كنردو في بلاصتها e ولا I بالانجليزية، عادة كنزيدو ed في الاخر. cry cried. we change y by I and we add ed. cry cried. copy copied. try tried, etc. The verbs ending with L, the consonant is always doubled after a single vowel. منين كيكون عندنا فعل منتهي ب L دائما كندوبلو داك ال L إلا كان مسبوق بحركة واحدة. مثلا cancel. to cancel في الباس نديرو cancelled، كنزيدو L عاد تنديرو ed. okay. quarreled. But when we have a verb with one syllable and ending with the vowel consonant, we always double the consonant in the end. Like for example, stop. You look, stop, stopped. We add P, we double the last consonant, which is P, and we double it and we add ed. Stop, stopped. Big, bigged. Okay, it's clear. But when we have a verb with more syllable and the stress fall in the last syllable, for example, admitted, kidnapped. Okay, so always we double the last consonant. In this second syllable. Okay, kidnap. The stress fall in the last syllable, so we double the last consonants in this case. Okay. Now let's take an example of a verb belong to category of regular verbs, and the other example will be in irregular verbs. So let's have a revise. So what we can say in the past simple of revise, I say I revised yesterday. I revised, you revised, he revised, she revised, we revised, you revised, they revised. This concerning the affirmative form, but when it comes to a negative form, what we can say? We say I didn't revise, you didn't revise, he didn't revise, she didn't revise, we didn't revise, you didn't revise, and they didn't revise. We use the auxiliary verb do in the past, which is did. It's irregular verbs, and we add the verb in base form or in the infinitive. But when it comes to question or interrogative form, here we can say, did I revise? Did you revise? Did he revise? Did she revise? Did we revise? Did you revise? Did they revise? Here we switch the subjects and the auxiliary do. Okay, so let's have another example about a verb belong to category of irregulars. Let's have, for example, eat. In the affirmative, when we talk about a simple past, we can say yesterday I ate. It's pronounced like number 8. Eat. I ate. You eat. He eat. She eat. We eat. You eat. They eat. When it comes to negative form, we say you didn't eat, I didn't eat, he didn't eat, she didn't eat, we didn't eat, you didn't eat, they didn't eat. But when we want to talk about interrogative or question form, we say, did I eat? Did you eat? Did he eat? Did she eat? Did we eat? Did you eat? Did they eat? Okay? So, to summarize, just keep in mind when we talk about simple past, we have to remember two things. The first one is verbs in English divide in two categories. One called regular verb, and the second one called irregular verb. When it comes to regular verbs, here we add just ed in the past. Play, played, revise, revised. Clear. When it comes to irregular verbs, means that we have to memorize them in the memory, because there is no rule, means that change all the spelling of the verb in the past. For example, eat, ate, eaten, have, had, do, did, done. Okay, we change all the spelling of the verb in this category, which we call irregular verbs. Okay, so when it comes to negative and interrogative, here we must remember that we have to use the verb do, the auxiliary do in the past. Did, didn't, did I, did you, etc. So it's very easy. It's a piece of cake just to remember two categories: irregular and regular, and auxiliary verb do. You have to grasp it. That's what you call a quit for today. See you next class. Bye bye.